Okay, you're at the Watchmen Way. February 22nd, 2020. More on the virus. This is it, guys. I'm telling you. They want the virus to bring down the economy. And it's getting more clear every day. Italy declares national emergency. Yesterday, I told you guys they had one confirmed case, and the next day it's a national emergency. And they've got 10 cities in northern Italy quarantined already. Come on. This is, to me, can anybody prove to me that this is any worse than the common flu that we experience every year around the world? Tens of thousands of people die every year from the flu. We're at like 3,000 now. And the funny thing is, a lot of the deaths are coming from the treatment. We've already had a report that some of the patients died from heart attacks because the medication they were receiving weakened their heart muscle. I don't get it. I don't know. It's the flu, for Christ's sake. Prove me wrong. So far, I haven't seen a shred of evidence that shows this is any worse than the flu. I mean, the incubation period is different. Big deal. I don't know. It seems pretty obvious to me. The cost of the virus quarantine. Will you be prepared? This is a very good point. People don't understand how this is going to impact them around the world. People are still thinking, oh, this is still a Chinese problem or, an Asian problem. I don't think the virus itself is a problem for anyone. What's a problem is the steps they're taking to address the virus, which seems way over the top, considering the damage done, the fatalities, and what the flip side is going to do. You want to see fatalities around the world? You want to see what could kill millions of people? It's the first ever worldwide economic collapse that this thing's going to cause. They're going to kill more people in the collapse than they are with this virus. Write it down. We're going to be good here in America, but it's going to get ugly in places like the EU. It's already a powder keg over there. What do you think's going to happen when the shit hits the fan in the economy? Banks close, factories close, people aren't working, people aren't eating, supply chains dry up. A recipe for disaster in a block of countries that are 100% globalist. At least the leadership is, right? The people are starting to see a shift here. The elites have basically, by what's happened over the last 4 years, they have sealed the fate of globalism in the world. What their reaction to President Trump and everything that's happened the last 4 years has sealed their fate, because you think they're going to get any more followers, globalist followers, when they've showed their true colors now. You know, they could always play the good game. Oh, we have the best interest of the people at heart. Yeah, you know, sure. As long as there's not more than 500 million of you, yeah. But we want to kill 7 billion because there's too many of you. They call us, what is it, useless eaters is what they call us, the elite. Yeah, good riddance. Good riddance to globalism and good riddance to all of the monsters that have been running this place. Satanic pedophile rings, swamp, deep state, globalist, all going down. And they're just, you can see, they're exposing themselves for who they really are. You know, look at the election right now. Look at the Democratic side of this election. This is political suicide. They're pulling out all the stops because they have nothing left. They've got to go off the reservation. They feel, I think, because they've got to go totally radical. Or because they know if they do the same as usual, they're going to get destroyed. They're going to get destroyed anyway. President Trump, again, write it down, 90% of the vote in 2020. He wins 90% of the vote. Who's going to vote Democrat? Who's going to vote Democrat when everybody sees the Hillary Clinton snuff video? Or Barack Obama, or Bush murdering a child? How do you think that's going to play? And this is going to be tied mostly. Now, there have been a lot of Republicans involved, but the driving force is the Democratic Party and liberalism for this movement. Now, there's a lot of liberals who don't understand what they've been supporting. And that's where we're going to see that shift, because the CIA's run numbers on this and have found that only 3 to 5% of the population will go along with an agenda that these people want to promote. Satanic pedophilia. They want to normalize it. It's not going to happen. The American public isn't ready for that. What they were trying to do was, again, inch by inch, make their inroads until they got the support they needed, and then it would be mainstream pedophilia. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because we forced their hand. They didn't have the luxury of dragging this out another 20 years. With President Trump in office, they had to address things like now. And they've just made it worse for themselves. There's absolutely zero chance that the mainstream media survives, the Democratic Party survives. I think 2020 will be the last election we see a Democratic presidential candidate. I think we're going to go to something like the Republicans and Libertarians. That would make a lot more sense. That would be, the Republicans would be the Democrats of 50 years ago, and the Libertarians, 100% Constitution, 100% freedom. If a Libertarian believes, if you're not hurting anyone else, you have the right to do whatever you want to do in a free country. And of course, the globalists don't believe that. They've spent the last 50 years burying us in legislation to control the shit out of us, so we can't walk down the street without breaking the law. Nothing to do with, what's best for our country, or for us, the people that run our country. It's all about controlling us. It's all about the political powers controlling us. And for the people that they're still so ignorant that they're knocking President Trump. I just can't fathom it. I can't fathom how anybody with an IQ over 50 that watches what's really going on, not what CNN is saying, but watches the truth of what's happening every single day, could have a bad thing to say about POTUS. You can't. You only have a bad thing to say if you've been brainwashed by the mainstream media, because you can't point to a single thing. There's a new article out. I'm not sure if it was a Washington Post reporter, but claiming that Clint Eastwood is backing Blomberg. Not happening. It's a lie. But that's the kind of crap that we're getting every day from the mainstream media. And they're talking to us about fake news. That's all that crap's going too. All the censorship. I was talking to a member today who's concerned about the gay, lesbian crap movement. I'm like, what the? Are you worried about the gays taking over the country? Listen, all of this crap, this push to the normalization of the fringe sexual groups, the censorship, the gun grabs, all of this crap goes away without us lifting a finger with President Trump's administration. Before he leaves office, all of this stuff will be handled. There won't be any more men running in women's events in high school and college. This lunacy ends now. And you kicking and screaming about your pet project, whether it's a gun grab or the sexual orientation argument with, storybook hour at the library. We're talking about percentage points here of importance when you're focused on something like that. If you're not focused on what the Watchmen are doing, red pilling and preparing people, you're playing right into the deep state's game, because they're the ones putting out all this other crap. They're the ones promoting the gay lesbian story hour at the library. They're the ones promoting the gun grab. They're the ones promoting censorship. It's over, guys. It's over. Why are you wasting your time? That's what you're wasting your time, because you're not going to accomplish a damn thing before President Trump cleans up the whole mess. I think people want to try to make a name for himself or something on social media by talking a good game. If you're going to do that, do your damn homework and find out what's really important. Quit being a moron. Because chasing your tail with the gay rights, what do you think you're going to accomplish? You're not going to accomplish a damn thing. Same with the gun grab, same with censorship. Before you ever got this ball moving, President Trump's going to shut him down. And then all that time you spent, those months, wasted because you never accomplished anything. President Trump did it all on his own. Use your heads. And I'm telling you, and I'm waiting. Someone show me something more important that we should be doing than preparing our fellow Americans and Christians for what's coming. Waking them up and preparing them. You can't point to anything else. Trust me, I spent countless hours analyzing every angle of what's happening. And there's nothing more important you can be doing right now. You're never going to have The opportunity that's in front of us right now in history, again, never's been an opportunity like this before, never will be an opportunity in history, of having an impact, this big an impact on a person or a family's life. You get somebody to buy $500 worth of Litecoin, you've changed their family's life forever. This is world-changing money we're talking about. You know, for you know, when you talk about investing $75 in something that brings you $3 million back in 4 years, tell me another time in history that it's happened on this scale. This isn't going to be the few insiders on Wall Street that take advantage of this crap. We have almost 2,200 members. Within 2 weeks after the collapse, we'll have 10,000. Because then everybody's going to be scrambling for answers. And they're going to know you can get them here. You know, and again, not that I'm right 100% of the time, but I don't know anybody who's got a better track record. And just wait till you see what it's like in a year. Because that's all the big stuff's coming in the next year. The next 12 months, guys. It's going to rock the world. Just think about it. First ever worldwide economic collapse. The swamp draining. Satanic pedophiles being exposed. The world is never going to be the same. And it's a good thing. And it's going to be changed for the better. Everything that is for the betterment of mankind. The swamp draining, the economy being cleaned out, getting rid of all the garbage, and then the pedophiles, obviously, getting those monsters off the street forever. We're headed into man's greatest age, greatest transfer of wealth in human history. We should, like I keep saying, we should be dancing in the streets and focused on the things that are going to advance the whole thing. You know, the country, the way. You know, for the new people, God came to me 3 weeks ago, maybe a month now, and gave us another job. Gave the Watchmen another job. You know, our mission to this point had been to warn and prepare as many as we could, as fast as we could. And now we've had the way added to our list as one of our duties. And we've been saying since day one that the proceeds from our physical silver and Litecoin, things that God showed me to protect us against this financial collapse, we've always said that we were going to take a portion, the Watchmen would take a portion of our profits, and we were going to pay it forward. God wants those funds to be designated as laying the foundation of the way, which is God's church. The church that Jesus taught 2,000 years ago was called the way. No priest, no pope, no churches, no buildings. You met in each other's homes. That's what we're going to be doing. You know, you tell the truth every time. You do the right thing. You live your life in the service of others. Treat people with respect. Our donations don't go to some other country. We put our donations in the hands of the needy. There's no way to corrupt this thing. No hierarchy. You can't control it. That's why the elites never adopted it. And God hasn't been happy about what's been going on with the churches. Any church. They've all been corrupted by man. All of them. And God wants the way ready. So when the Catholic Church comes down this year, and it is coming down in 2020, Pope's going to resign, wants the way ready to fill the void when those hundreds of millions of Catholics are looking for a home, looking for comfort, looking for answers. We're going to be here for them. That's our job. God's also telling me that within 20 years, the way will be the biggest religion in the world. And I just think about it. At the same time that 90% of the evil in the world is being eradicated, the way is exploding. Think about the shift. Think about the shift in the world. Think about the change in the world when that happens. So you're taking all the people that have been responsible, every war the last 300 years, every terrorist attack, 90% of the evil in the world, you're removing. As good is spreading. And you can't find a religion that's more pure than the way. Again, I'll wait. I'll debate anybody, anywhere. There's nothing better. There's no downside to this. There's no negative side to the way. It's the purest religion in the world. And because of that, it's going to explode. People are fed up. They're fed up with what they see the church is doing. The 501c3s that won't speak out against abortion. You know, God's not happy that the government's controlling churches. And that's what happens with the 501c3. They're going to tell you what you can and can't talk about. Doesn't sound like a very good church to me. With the way, it's very simple. It's we all know the difference between right and wrong. It doesn't get any simpler. Do the right thing. It doesn't have to be complicated. It gets complicated when they're trying to control you. That's when it gets complicated. The whole purpose behind the priest in the Catholic religion is to try and make the parishioners feel like they need that priest. Because if they don't need that priest, you really don't need the church. I mean, my cousin was in the seminary. He left the church. Well, left the Catholic Church because of they were trying back in the 60s, maybe early 70s, to come up with ways to make the people more dependent on the priest. Does that sound like God's work to you? It's not. You should want to make people free and independent. They shouldn't, if they're taught right and they're good people, do you need a priest? I don't think so. I really don't. We're all the church. The church is everywhere. That's what God wants. Think about it. Does it make sense that you go to church 1 hour a week and that makes you a good person? I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't make you a bad person. But how about doing some good? Living your life in the service of others. Prove me wrong. Show me something else that makes more sense. I haven't seen it. I've been studying this stuff for a long time. I went to parochial school. I was an altar boy. I saw it from the inside. And then the same with our government. All of this is changing, guys. A shift is coming in the world. Consciousness raising, whatever you want to call it, an awakening, the event. It's happening. It's happening right now. Look what's going on around the world. People are fed up. You can see it with what's happening in the politics. Look at everybody electing a President Trump clone. It's happening all over the world. I mean, look at Brexit. You think that happens if President Trump didn't get elected? It's that people around the world are seeing that an honest politician can make a difference if he's honest. It's the end for the globalist. It's the end for the Communist Party. Honestly, communism is done in the world within 10 years, and I think probably within 5. And if God really wants to pick it up, could be 2. I do not see. Just look at what happened in Hong Kong, the resistance. Look what happened in Iran. They killed 1,500 people, or was it 15,000? I can't remember. Let's just say it was 1,500. The next week, there were millions on the streets. They weren't taking it. They didn't care. That's what's happening around the world. People are fed up and they're not taking it anymore. And that's bad news for the bad guys. Bad news for globalism, bad news for communism. It's over, guys. Can't go on. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the numbers to justify all this hype on the virus. Still waiting. Haven't seen them yet. And this has been going on for more than a month. Looking more and more like an engineered event. On the wrong page here. There we go. Car sales are down 92% in China. 92%. Ay. Many businesses have shut down. They're not operating in China. Remember now, China's sending from those factories that are now shutting down, all those parts they were shipping around the world aren't going to show up. So then now all those factories are shut down. It's a domino thing, guys, coming. I said last week that I thought that the damage was probably already been done. The damage has already been done. The economy cannot recover from this. If they could flip a switch and have things running full speed on Monday, it wouldn't change anything. They're already too far behind. The die's been cast. It's too late. Now, it might take a couple more weeks to catch up, but there's no recovery from this. You can't shut a country down the size of China for a month economically and think that it's not going to have an impact, and then on top of their world record debt and the world record debt around the world, no one can survive this. They don't have the reserves that they had, say, 10 years ago. The countries or the companies. Everybody is strapped and loaded up with worthless assets. Going to be ugly when it goes down. Ugly for the people that were trying to play that game. It's going to be really nice for the ones that are prepared, the ones that have listened to the list we have for the Watchmen. Extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, Litecoin. Adjust that list based on your own personal experience, needs, skill set. And think about this. So, say you work at a company here in America that things are going real well. But wait a minute, now all the parts that were coming in from China, not only are they not going to be here when they're supposed to, but we don't know when they're going to be here. And now we got to start slowing down or shutting down. So now you're not getting your paycheck. What is it? It's a crazy number that are going paycheck to paycheck. that are living right now paycheck to paycheck. What happens when those paychecks stop? That's what's coming. Because when these other factories start closing, the domino effect of, what is it, 30, 40% on the verge of homelessness? Because, yeah, you lose your job, you lose your house. Millions in South Korea told to stay home. Now you got the same thing going on in South Korea. Man. and in South Korea, how does this happen? Most of the people in the psych wards are infected. Really? Or wouldn't they be, if you were the globalist, wouldn't they be the ones you want to infect? Because you don't want these people around. The globalist, they want to euthanize the mentally retarded, the people who can't contribute, people who can't, that are a drain on society, basically. They want to, it's like not give cancer treatment to people that are over a certain age. Really? That's your idea of a civilized society? That's what globalism is. It's ugly. Not going to happen. God's not going to have it. and it's all part of the plan. They're trying to shut down, destroy the economy. They've done it. Now, the great thing about this is, it's like a big sign. The crash is coming. Are you listening? You know, with what's happening right now with this virus, the people that have kind of been on the fence or wanting to see something or wait to see something, or maybe going to try and cut it close and wait till the last minute. Guys, there's not much time left. Don't play that game with your family's future. Do what you can do now. Get the food, the water, the medical supplies, the physical silver, the Litecoin, the ammo. You got to be able to defend yourselves. I don't think in America many people are even going to have to fire a shot. I really don't. It's going to be different around the world. I do believe that God is intervening to lessen the blow, especially in America. I think we're going to get through this pretty clean. But there's other places that are going to be tough. We'll see how it goes. But the economy going down first is a good thing. I've been saying that for over a year. The economy goes down first. Everybody's worried about where their next meal's coming from. Nobody's going to complain about Obama and Clinton going down. This could be lining up just like we hoped it would. And which goes to the next point. If you're flat broke, it's going to make it a lot harder to navigate what's coming. That's the other point to the physical silver and Litecoin. There's been talk about maybe the internet going down when this all happens, and martial law, communications might not be up to snuff. You got to have this stuff figured out beforehand. You can't wait till the last minute and then think you're going to get something accomplished. Communications might be tough. You got to make all your plans now. You know, we've talked before about being prepared and getting groups together and neighborhood watches. Those are all things you should be doing now. Getting other forms of communication. If you're in a neighborhood, walkie-talkies work fine, right? If you're in a subdivision. You're in the country, it gets a little bit more dicey, but you also have your ham radios, and they even have handheld ham radios that you can get. Think about that now. Because, if you wait till it blows up, everything gets harder after it blows up, right? And where I was going with the money thing. If, say, communications go down and the internet go down, you won't have access to Litecoin. You kind of have to think of Litecoin like you think of the bank. We already know right now, if the internet goes down, we're not going to be able to bank either. So, people want to talk about, well, oh God, what happens when the internet goes down? Nothing happens. That's what your silver's for. Your silver's for that period in time where technology might be spotty at best. You've got to have a plan in place beforehand. What happens if the internet goes down or cell service goes down? What are your other options? Walkie-talkies, or if you're in a neighborhood, are the perfect solution. But you got to start that stuff now. It's going to get much harder to do if you wait till it all blows up. And now that you can't do that, and I think probably the majority of the stuff that's going to get done is going to get done after the fact, when everybody realizes, oh shit, this is for real. We better do something. It's the people that are prepared and knowledgeable and awake that are going to help those people put together the last minute stuff, because you can imagine, and most of the people that are going to get blindsided by this, they're going to have ignored all of the warnings, called it conspiracy theory, didn't believe it, and then boom. And they never paid any attention to anything about how to get through this stuff. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to be coming to us and people like us for answers and help. And that's part of the job, guys, right? We've talked about this. You're going to have people come back to you who have probably not treated you very well. Called you names, called you crazy, badmouth you to your friends. We have to take the high road. We have to set the example. No hard feelings. We have to welcome them back and do the best we can to get them ready. That's what God wants. That's what we're going to do. It's how we're going to get through this thing. You can look back at history. Every time America's been faced with a challenge, we've always pulled together and got through it. And this is going to be no different. And I actually believe not just America, but the world is going to be unified in this movement, in this uprising, really. We are telling these globalists that we're not having any more of it. It's done. And you want to keep pushing, it's just going to go worse for you. That's where we're at. It's all good, guys. Oh, man. Hundreds of animals dropped dead in China after being poisoned by virus disinfectant. Are you kidding me? Ay. Crazy. It's just like the medication killing patients. Tommy, Danielle, how you doing? Lisa, James, Debbie. I'm not there. There we go. Susan, Judy, hello. Donna, hello. Eric, Tessie, Cousin Monica, how are you? Michelle, hello. Benny, David, what's up? The Watchmen Way, guys. That's the other thing. We've got the Watchmen Way challenge, the 1 week challenge. Live your life the way for a week. Try it out. Tell the truth every time. Do the right thing. Live your life in the service of others. Treat others with respect. Try it for a week. You'll be amazed. Thanks, David. Kathleen, hello. Paula, hello. Rita. Mansfield. Becky. Where you been, Becky? Amanda, how are you? Mike. Janet, how you doing? How's JW? Ryan? What's up? Is it getting any better with your husband, Rita? It will get better. I promise me, guys. I'm promising you guys, it will get better very soon. Not many questions tonight. Huh. Okay, guys. Not much time. I've been saying before this coronavirus that this thing could go down any day, that the economy around the world is that weak. A stiff breeze is going to blow this thing over. Well, we're in a hurricane right now with this virus. And not that the virus is a hurricane. It's the hype around the virus. And that's how you know this is a false flag engineered event. Because the globalists still control the mainstream media. They could tell them to shut their mouths if they didn't want this to go down like this way. But they're not. They're fanning the flames. It's getting hyped up. It seems like more every day. More countries getting involved. More quarantines. More lockdowns. More companies shutting the doors temporarily. Which may turn out to be a lot longer than they would have hoped. Got to keep pushing, guys. We got to push through to the end. Don't let up. Keep going every day. Every person matters. Every person that we get on board makes it easier for all of us. Makes it easier for President Trump. Makes the recovery faster. Because remember, we're creating thousands of millionaires. It's going to be a huge impact during the recovery. And just think about the foundation we're going to be able to lay for God's church. It's all good, guys. Doesn't get any better. I'm going to end it there. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.